Before I introduce to you the next speaker, let's take a moment to reflect on the topic of breaking habits, a subject which many of us find relevant and meaningful. Habits, whether good or bad, over a period of time start sharing our lives. Swami says, so you sow an action and reap a tendency. You sow a tendency and reap a habit. You sow a habit and reap your character. So that beautifully summarizes the importance of actions and need to cultivate good habits. Our next speaker will guide us on how to break these habits and lead a healthy lifestyle. It is my honor to introduce our next speaker for the day, Brother Sudeep Rao. Brother Sudeep Rao is a Balvikas alumnus and has been associated with Gitanjali since 1999. After completing his MBA from the Sri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning in 2011, he has been working in the IT industry in Bengaluru and is currently working as an Associate Director of Marketing. He is an avid health and wellness enthusiast who enjoys running, swimming, trekking, resistance training and kayaking. He has participated in several amateur cycling races and also initiated a fitness movement for employees at his workplace. He currently enjoys motivating people to adopt a healthy lifestyle through activity and a clean diet. Over to you, brother.
Sairam everyone gathered here. Thank you for joining me in this session today. I offer my humble salutations at Swami's lotus feet and pray that he guides me today in this session. Prem brother just before this session already set context to how difficult it is going to be for somebody after the lunch to keep audience engaged, and I am going to try my best, and to him I will leave the rest. So thank you for coming today on this session, where I will be talking about how to help all of you break habits in terms of physical health and nutrition. If some of you saw the poster that Vishwas brother had put up earlier, I want to disqualify myself of all the credentials he gave me. I am not a health and lifestyle coach. I am not affiliated to any gym or a fitness center or anything of that sort. I do not endorse any brands, nor am I against any, though I will be using some examples today. Everything is to just help us understand this concept better and not to, promote anything in particular, right? So, in the realm of health, I'm sure all of us, when we have heard about Swami's discourses, he has spoken at length about nutrition, health, diet, exercise, multiple times. So, what I am essentially going to be sharing today are things that we mostly already know. 80% of it, most of us will know. This session is probably just to help you remember those points so that you take away 4 or 5 things after this session that might help you become a fitter and a more healthier individual, right? So, we are going to keep this session interactive. I am going to ask a few questions. You can stop me and ask me a few questions. I have done Brahmarpanam and offered some treats at Swami's lotus feet. Anybody who interacts well will get that small treat during the session. So let's keep it interactive, let's keep it fun, anything but boring, okay? So when we talk about health, fitness and well-being, what is it that comes to your mind? Anybody, any answers? If you have the mic, good, but otherwise, if you have enough energy after the lunch to shout, I'm happy. Gym. Somebody said gym. Yes. 4 more answers. Energy. Yes. Fantastic. Enthusiasm to do work at any point in the day and any time. Mental health. Absolutely. One more from the crowd. Nutritious food, yes. Proactive. Absolutely. Mental equilibrium. All right choices. Like I said, most of you already know what I'm going to be discussing, but this is just to help you remember it better so that you can take it after the session today. This is something that comes to our mind, right? When we say health, this is one thing that we see. This is also something that we see, all thanks to social media. We see a lot of these things. If any of you are not able to see the slides, I will just request you to adjust yourself so that you can see the screen. And this has become a fad these days, right? Wheatgrass mixed with kale, the bitterest things in the morning, whether you like it or not. People say you do this, you eat this, you drink this, see what's going to happen to you in the next 21 days. Now, 21 is a popular number, so 21 days, right? This is something that's become a fad in Bangalore and throughout India, across the world as well, right? People go for these long runs. I'm sure most of you know him. He runs without chappals also. So he just keeps going and going and going until somebody asks him to stop. So that is his definition of health. So are all these people healthy? This is a question that I have to the group. You can show, in a show of hands, you can tell me, do you think these people are healthy? Do you think they're not healthy, or do you think they may be healthy or they may not be healthy? How many of you think they are all healthy people? One? Only one? Two at least, okay. How many of you think that they are not healthy people? They are just like us, they are not healthy at all. Nobody. Okay, they may be healthy, not sure. Okay, good. Then there is something for us to learn today. Fine. What about this guy? Is he healthy? He looks happy, but is he healthy? I don't know. But this was taken about 17 years ago. It's my own photo. I don't look like that anymore. I can definitely say I'm healthier than how I used to look back then. Am I fitter? Am I having more energy? Definitely yes. But is this session going to be about this? Oh, somebody was fat, they're going to lose weight. What are we going to do about it? No. I mean, this is a byproduct. If you lead a healthy lifestyle, losing weight is a byproduct. Let's look at it that way. Right? We are not here to make say fat people are unhealthy and slim people are healthy. There are a lot of tests that are done today, and so much research has gone in to show that even the slimmest of the people have a lot of health issues internally. So this is not about that, but look at it as a byproduct. Okay, let it come if it comes. This is today, right? So my session is also going to be about what about 10 years, 20, 30 years from now? Because I am not like that and I am like this now. Is it guaranteed that I'm going to stay this way for the rest of my life if I don't do anything? I'm done. My journey is done. Is it certified that I'm going to be this way forever? No. It's never an end goal, right? It's always a journey. So some of the things that you will probably learn today are things that you will have to do throughout your life. It's not that I took this pill and I did this, did that, and now I'm set. No, unfortunately, it's not like that. It's not that simple. You will have to practice this for the rest of your life, right? Okay, now I'll tell you a research that I came across. Thanks to YouTube, there are a lot of podcasts and a lot of medical publications that you would otherwise not read. You will listen to some of these from great scientists in the form of podcasts and short videos. Quickly, between 1904 and 1907, in a town called Grunwald near Poland, off the main cityscapes, there was this rich guy, let's call him a millionaire. I don't know, he was very rich back in the day. I don't know if he had $1 million, but very rich guy called Cos van Heidelberg, who assembled a team of scientists, researchers, physiotherapists and biochemists with the sole intent of coming up with a pill that will help people age slower. When I say age slower, don't think of it as a magic pill that when you eat from tomorrow you don't age. It's not that. Those only happen in fairy tales. This guy was just obsessed with health and fitness like I am. And back in the day he had the resource and money, and he got people in a secretive location actually because of a lot of government and other reasons that you may know of which will prevent such things from happening. He tried this. And for 2.5 years his scientists did an amazing job. right? So they were continuously doing trials and testing, and they call this project the Vita Genesis. The whole intention is to make people not feel the effect of age. Unfortunately, towards the end of 1906, close to 1907, a fire broke out in his lab. Till today, we do not know for sure if the fire was a sabotage intent by somebody within his team, or if there were other external sources that were involved to do this and prevent the invention of such a pill. I do not know. But the fact of the matter is that happened. A lot of research, which had taken them probably close to 70% of completion, went down the drain. We don't have that now today. The only findings that we know was if that pill was there and you had a reasonably good diet and would exercise about 20 minutes a day, the studies that they had done with rodents showed that an 80-year-old would have the body functionality and performance of that of a 45-year-old if you would do that on a lifelong basis, if you would have taken the pill on a lifelong basis. That is the outcome that they had promised the world. Today we don't have it. But now I have a question to you. Let us assume that the fire didn't break out, the study went through, they completed it, they got all the approvals, we have the pill. How many of you would take the pill knowing that the pill requires two conditions, like how you take antibiotics with food and B complex and all that? This pill, it requires that you exercise and have a moderately clean diet, right? But every day taken along with your food, it has a lot of impact. How many of you would take the pill and follow these two conditions? Some. Okay. There are a lot of you who don't wish to do it. Can I know why? Can someone answer why you would not want to take this pill? Absolutely. The pill has no mental issue side effects, guaranteed. What next? Your mental abilities won't be compromised with this pill. That was not a part of the study.
Aging is a natural process, so we didn't want to interrupt that.
True, yes. The scientists never said you will not age. They said you will age, but your body will function like that of a younger person. I agree. You don't want to abrupt the nature cycles, but you will function like that of an energetic individual. Like today, you already know people who are in the 50s. Some of them are as good as 20-year-olds. And you have also seen 20-year-olds who are as good as 70-year-olds. I'm not making up these numbers. In their energy levels and in the way they want, the enthusiasm that they have, I have seen 20-year-olds behave like 70-year-olds. They don't want to move around at all. They just want to sit in one place. So we have seen that, right? Yeah. There you go. Got it. Why, sister is saying, why depend on external things? Absolutely. Today, anyway, we don't have the thing, so the whole concept is gone. But that's a fair point, right? Yeah. Consistency is hard, right? Taking a pill or doing the exercise and okay. Okay, so consistency is hard. Fair point. A lot of great answers.
You have to work for your health. Without hard work, you don't get anything. Why you have to go for the easy way?
Yeah, absolutely. You have to work for your health. One good enthusiastic answer, so I'll start my treat distribution. I am not saying that the other answers were wrong. His brother just happened to have so much enthusiasm in the fact that we have to work hard for our health. He's done 50% of my job today. So true, we have to work hard for the health. There are three things to note in this story. One, the human predicament to improve health, right? Back in 1904, 120 years ago, when this much technology was not there, somebody was still thinking of making people become fit and healthy. That's an amazing thought, right? Second, unfortunately, we don't have the pill today, right? That's the second thing. Third thing, if you ask the right questions to an AI platform, it will cook up any stories for you. None of what I said right now is true. There was no study, there was no scientists in Poland, nothing happened. Something like this is not possible and it's very difficult also, okay? So this was made up. But what if I tell you the result, right, that I mentioned, that 80-year-olds functionally behaving like 45-year-olds. What if I tell you that that is actually possible? There was a study that was actually done between 1920 and 28 with cross-country skiers in Sweden. I'm not lying anymore, so don't switch off. My lying is over. This is true. This research has happened. I can give you Google links. You can go and check. Cross-country skiers in Sweden, Olympic skiers. So when I say cross-country skiing, these are people who ski for hours together. It's not like a half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hour activities. They go great distances, right? A research was done to see how they were at their 80th year of their life, between their 80 and 90 years. Some of them lived, some of them didn't. Those who lived, they were a part of this test. So what they did was to find out how their functional performance was, and finally towards the end, they said that their lung capacity and cardiac output was as good as that of a 20-year-old college untrained American male. That was the finding that they came up with, and it is true, it is published. Now, why is cardiac functioning and lung functioning important? Most of us now here by this time know that these are some of the issues that will crop up later if you don't take care of it right now. And if you have visited the hospital with any relative, unfortunately, who has had to undergo any health issues related to heart and the lungs, the doctor will say, this did not start today, sir. This did not start 5 years ago. It did not start 10 years ago. This started 25 years ago. So we are at that time. Now is the time to make the choice. Do you want to choose the healthy life so that you don't sit with the doctor and let your grandchildren listen to such things? Or if you want to we'll take care and then become that person, right? So this capacity, how is this measured? I am going to go a little bit technical and I will come out. I won't bore you too much. So this is the capacity of your body to absorb oxygen, distribute it to all the organs and make sure that they are performing well. All of us realize, especially after COVID, that oxygen levels are very important. Everybody had this SpO2 device and we know how oxygen is important. So this test ultimately comes up with a number that shows how good your body's oxygen absorbability is. It's called VO2 max, and the number for these 80-year-olds was about 35 at that age. Today, most of us sitting here without doing any form of conscious training or some sort of physical activity, we today will be at about 20, 25, maximum 30, unless you are physically active, right? So I am not saying that everyone has to ski now, that's an impractical proposition. But the fact is that along with skiing, they did a whole bunch of other things that kept them healthy. They kept their jogging schedules on, they were walking, they were just maintaining a healthy diet, and continuously they were physically active. That at the age of 80, it gave them returns. How you invest and you get returns? 50 years of investment has given them return. No, you know, what is the point? Like, what should I do at 80? Why do I need to be so physically fit? I'm not going to go skiing or anything. But you are going to do regular activities, right? You will be great in all of those things, right? So this is the metric that I was saying. The tests are very difficult. This is how it's measured. They'll take you to a lab, they'll rig a lot of things to your body, they'll put a mask to see how much oxygen is going in, how much carbon dioxide is coming out, and it's called a maximal effort test, because of which you will be made to run till you drop. You should say, I cannot run anymore. At that point is where they calculate the maximum oxygen. That's why it's called VO2 max. And this test is not easily available and it's expensive. It was available only to athletes. But now your smartwatch, some decent smartwatches can do it. It will just pop a number. As and when you keep exercising, it will have its own algorithms. Whether it's accurate, not accurate, don't worry about it, because you need to know relatively how you are progressing, right? Smartwatches can do this. So Swami has said it, research has said it, technology is ready. Are you ready is the next question, right? So Indian spirituality, Indian culture, what is this guy talking about tech and all these advancements and all of that? I'll take our minds a little back to our own culture. Our superheroes were always super fit, right? He probably has the record for the best squat. Nobody in the world has done a better squat than Lord Hanuman has done, and nobody can do it as well. These were battle heroes. They had to be fit. They had to fight wars. Obviously, they have to be fit. For these things, people have to be fit, brother. But I want to do my sadhana. I want to sit and do sadhana. From morning, we've been hearing about sessions where you have to sit and do dhyana, meditation, bhajans and all that. Why do I need to be so fit? You can look at him. The problem when you look at him is that your attention immediately goes to, oh, look at that resplendent face with the glowing shine of the moon over his head and the stillness that he's percolating to the world outside of him. Yes, but look at his spine. It's always erect. One of the prerequisites, brothers have spoken about this, Ratnakar brother spoke about it in the morning. Your spine has to be erect if any effect of your sadhana has to come to you. You can't have a slouched back and do sadhana and expect and feel that I've been doing meditation but somehow something is not working, chances are that your spine is not erect. Okay? So look at that when you look at Shiva. This is not just the olden history part, right? Even today, if you see, this is a photo of some of our army folk climbing a wall that's almost 90 degrees with at least a 30 kilo backpack using ropes. This is not something that only Hanuman did and now nobody is doing. You can see what people who want to do, who are expected to do, are doing. This came out in February. I'm not sure if some of you have seen it. It's about a yogi, 22-year-old, I guess, in the Himalayas. He's sitting and there is ice on him. He's basically frozen into the ice. He's very much alive. His disciple took the video. There were some claims that this was AI generated and it was fake. It is not. Times of India has clarified that it is true, it is real. This Ajji is called Namammal, I guess. Some of you might know, some of you might not. She's 97 years old. So I'm not talking about only Rama, Krishna, Hanumanta, Shiva, who we have never seen. Like brother was saying, I don't know, I have not seen God. But you are seeing these people. None of these photos are AI generated, they are real. You can Google them. And they are this fit. They are doing it. So if they can do it and we have been doing it, there is no reason why we as a generation should somehow stop doing it now, right? We have to, it's absolutely essential to continue this, being on this journey. And Swami was not very lenient on this as well, right? Whenever he used to see people who were very bloated, he used to call them and say, Pakoda, aaj pakoda khaya. He used to directly come and tell them, like, you're eating too much, you have to look at your health. Swami has been critical. So I have just put one definition here of what Swami has said about how health is important, right? So he has said, whatever helps you to guide humans to live morally, to prosper and fulfill beneficial desires and liberation from grief, that instrument is health. It's a prerequisite, Swami has said. Without that first component, very difficult to achieve all of this. You may be doing seva, you may be doing a lot of other sadhana, but somewhere if your body is not cooperating with you, you're always uncomfortable, you're not in a pleasant state of mind, the joy and energy levels are always down. So question time again. We've spoken a lot about the importance. Now I will just want to ask you, let us say you are already working out, you are doing something physically active, you are energizing yourself every day. How do you think, give me some examples of places where this kind of working out will help you in your daily activities. Any daily activities that you think will become better? Yeah. Lifting groceries, walking upstairs, household cleaning, yes. People with a lot of experience doing such hard work will actually talk about it, yes.
More focus and energy doing work.
More focus and energy doing work. No denying that at all. Absolutely no denying that. Anyone else? Daily activities? Yoga, yes, it will help you do better yoga, but I am trying to understand what daily activities which you do it is going to impact. Studying, yes.
More effectively.
Definitely. Why? Because you don't keep slouching and you don't want to keep feeling that your shoulders are tiring out and all of that, right? So it's going to impact every walk of your life. So I've put some real examples here, right? Some photos of people who doing things that you normally do. It's our Bangalore metro station. So all of you, I'm sure if you have taken the metro, you have taken the stairs, right? You have to walk up and down stairs. How comfortably you can do that versus how difficult you find when you do these activities is the difference between good health and health that is not so good. Maybe some of you who are under 20 to 30, you can do all of this well now, but your goal should be, I want to be able to do this when I'm 80. That should be a goal. I am like a religious, devoted person. I don't do all this climbing. I'll take the escalator. But I stand in queues for darshan 3-4 hours. You have seen people fainting in darshan, right? When they're standing in long queues. Good health will also help you attend your darshan peacefully so that when you reach God, you don't keep thinking, oh God, why fainted? Thankfully somebody gave me water. You're actually looking at God, right? This is something all of us do, right? Play with children. You can be doing this, right? Some of us have done this, some of us will do this. When you do this, I want you to do it happily. I don't want to do this and then say, oh, gone. I have a catch now. You have one hand. If you're lucky enough, you'll catch the kid, or not so lucky. So you want to do these activities. For all of this, obviously, any kind of focused physical activity is absolutely essential. The other thing is, you might look at that lady who's walking up the stairs and say, walking upstairs, walking down, not a big deal, right? How many of you, I'm sure you have come across people, your friends, relatives who have fallen down while climbing, descending stairs, if not fallen down, twisted their ankle while climbing upstairs. We think, oh, chance accident, couldn't do anything, sad. What if I tell you that it's not a chance accident? It could be prevented, right? If your body has gone through those motions every day, all your ankle stretches and your leg muscles can fire quickly to save you when you are going into a fall. Your fall, which became an accident, could in fact have been prevented. You will just be, oh, I tripped, I'm fine. Versus, oh, I tripped, I fell, I sprained my ankle, 3 months, I'm out of action. So don't treat these falls and small accidents as unfortunate things. Of course, they're unfortunate, but it definitely is in your control if you want to take it into your control. It's definitely true. We do this as well, right? Whenever we have to travel, we have to lift loads. When you're doing all of this, you want to be able to do this happily. You should be that person who says, hey, give me your luggage, I'm going to put it up. Not find somebody to give your luggage so that they can put it up for you. Not now. At 20, you still can. My goal is when you are 80, right? When you are 80, you should be able to take somebody else's luggage and put it up on the cabin, right? That should be your end goal. We have seen this as well. It's not only film, right? We have seen a lot of elders in our own families and friend circle who are happy. I know of my friends' parents who are visiting country after country, one after the other. They just don't stop. They pull their own baggage and they keep doing it, right? And like I said, like Shiva said, you want to say, I don't want to do any of these things. I just want to meditate. I want to chant Veda. I want to do some japa. Even for that, only if your muscles in your thoracic region are absolutely fine, will you be able to sit erect and reap the full benefit of the namakam that you chant. If you keep slouching, if you keep using your chair, or if you sleep off because your body is not energetic enough, none of it is going to yield full benefit. Now, before I go on to some specifics, I just have put one small definition, which sister actually brought this up earlier itself. So, it is health and fitness is the ability to do your daily activities very efficiently, happily, in an enjoyable manner, without having too many dependencies. What are dependencies? Dependencies may be other people, dependencies may be other equipment, something, crutch or something that you might need. Dependencies may be medication, dependencies may be pills that you have to carry with you all the time for any condition that you may have. Not having dependency on any of these things and going about life comfortably is what we are looking at as health. And I am not saying, okay, I'll just do limited stuff, just the bare minimum to get through life. No, I am saying do more. If you have walked 2 kilometers and that's the best that you have done ever in your life, try 3. Nothing's going to happen. If you have done 3, try 5. I am not going to say do 100. I am not going to go till there. But try to push your limits. Enjoy. If you have not, some of the best views in the world, if people have done trekking here, they will know. Some of the best views in the world are always on mountain tops. If you have never had the chance to trek, you should be able to trek and do it happily. When I go on treks, when I'm coming down, there are people who are coming up over there, how far is it now? That's not the way to trek. Huh? You should be like, how much more? Am I done? What's there on the top? That should be your level of energy and enthusiasm. But we were all born with good strength, flexibility and a nice, able, capable body. Most of us can't do that now. That kid, Aram se, he's not sitting there for fun. He's tying his kite. He's using that as a posture to rest and do his activity. Very difficult for a lot of us to get into that position. Ratnakar brother spoke about this asana, an important asana. Most of us find it difficult to do it today. We can, 30 seconds, 1 minute, but most sadhana will take you at least 15-20 minutes. So can you sit in 20 minutes there without moving left and right and wanting to just finish and get out? This one is a video. That is the video of my cousin's daughter doing the monkey bars. She is 5 years old. All of it, it's not that she's got some super capability. All of that at that age could do this. Today, even if you have to just hang for a few seconds, it is difficult for us. Now your question is, why am I going to hang on a bar? Please don't look at this as a show of your gymnastic abilities. When you are traveling in the metro, your hand is most of the time resting on the bar. Now you will say, my feet are on the ground, my hand is only resting on the bar, but this is not this kind of an effort. But what if I tell you that if you are able to do this, holding like that, you can stay in metro for 3 hours end to end if needed, and you will still not get out feeling tired. You won't say, wow, I stood all the way, now I need a break. No, you will just get out, you will go out of the station, you will start running again. Right? So, this kind of capability is not to prove anything to anybody, it's just going to make you better individuals. Okay? What to do to be this person, we will slowly see in the coming slides. He's back to remind you if your back is straight. So if your back is not straight, please keep it straight. He's just here to remind you. So like I was saying, we were good, right, when we were young. What happened as we aged, as we started growing older? Our birthdays kept coming, our priorities kept changing, right? And we have this amazing thing, right? We say, once in a while somebody's got some sweet, once in a while. If you see people who go to work here or who have friends who keep visiting from outside, every week, 4 days, if somebody is coming from some other state, some function is there, some marriage is there, they keep getting sweets. What is once in a while in that? Once in a while has to be once in a while. Every day you are eating sweet, that's sweet once in a while. Tomorrow somebody else gave another sweet, that is once in a while. But for your body it is sugar ultimately, right? So that once in a while mindset, you should slowly address that. And your priorities change, your work becomes more important, so you have crappy eating habits. You eat whatever is easily available without taking the efforts to find the right food. And this, I don't know if you belong to the left side or right side or in the center. This is a very unfortunate picture. We have all seen pictures of hungry kids in Somalia not having food. My sympathies with them, that's unfortunate. But to me, this is even more unfortunate. There they don't have anything. And if somebody supports, they can live happily. Here you have the knowledge, you have the capability. And nobody is on the stairs, everybody is on the escalator. We see this in malls all the time, in metro stations. The escalator should be an aid if you are unfit at that point in time, or you have an injury, or you are completely unable to climb for some reason. But the moment you see an escalator and a flight of stairs, if your mind says stairs, don't think it's a mind thing. It means your body is not cooperative. If you keep your body in a way that makes you cooperative, your body will automatically push you to the stairs. It will say, so many people on the escalator, let me go faster using the stairs, right? Again, nothing wrong against taking the escalator, but I'm just trying to help you stay conscious of the decisions that you make. We started sitting, right? When we were kids, we sat little. We used to play a lot. Now we started sitting. I made a conscious effort to make sure that those of you who could avoid the chairs could avoid the chairs. I'm thankful to most of you who avoided the chairs. Nothing wrong with those who are taking the chairs. If there is a reason for you to use the chairs, perfectly fine. But it's not about today's session or yesterday's session. It's about the lifestyle that we have. 8 hours a day, if you're sitting on a chair, I'm not talking about 8 straight hours. You may say, no, I get up once in every 1 hour. But if you sit a cumulative of 8 hours a day, this is again research. You can Google it, not a lie. You will see that the effects of sitting are worse than the effects of smoking and being obese. On a long-term basis, nothing will happen today, tomorrow. What's going to happen? I don't understand. I'm sitting, I'm comfortable, the chair is comfortable. What's your problem? No problem. Your hip, your hamstring and all your leg muscles will start becoming weaker and more ineffective by the day. Sitting on the floor is a far more effective thing. Our ancestors always sat on the floor. They were doing fine. Sitting in the Padmasana or a Sukhasana will keep your hips open, wide, and it keeps you flexible as well. Given the chance, avoid the chair. If you have to sit on the chair, work around it. Keep ensuring that you have ways to get up and do something else. Now, after doing all of this, age becomes a factor, right? And then you say, you walk with a cane. I've been talking about this all along. I don't want this to be anybody here or anybody else that I speak to as well. When you're 80, I want you to be this, not this, right? All your efforts, you see people and say, oh, he's using a cane, unfortunately, he's aged. Why? So what if he's aged? We have, this Ajji is also aged. Forget using a cane, she's doing things that we can't do today. So it's a choice, right? What we do today is going to determine how we are later. So sitting that way is one of those things that can put you there. Please have a red alert whenever you realize you are sitting for long. Now we move on to understanding some concepts. Till now, I hope I have impressed upon you the concept of why healthy living is important. I'll just break it down a little bit for you now and tell you what I'm going to discuss here, right? Health can be split into these various components. There might be multiple ways to do this, but for this session, I'm doing it this way. Physical health, mental health, spiritual health. And below each of the pillars, I have listed some of the activities that you can do to ensure that those pillars are functioning well, right? You can, is the text legible? Are you able to read what is there? Okay, even in the back? Okay. There are some activities that will cut across all three pillars like yoga, diet and nutrition, meditation. These will cut across health of all these three pillars, right? So this will take care of everything. Now, today in this session, I will be focusing more on the physical and the nutrition part of health. ICMR is Indian Council for Medical Research. As recently as 1 month ago, I think, they published a report that says how active people have to be. These are the guidelines that they have given. 60 minutes of physical activity. Okay, this can include activities like your gardening, household chores, if they are fairly exerting, okay? Not guiding your maid to do something. Don't call that physical activity. If you are doing it, then yes, it is physical activity. 20 minutes of aerobic activity, walking, cycling, running, swimming, jogging, climbing stairs, anything that puts your body in a cyclic load for 20 minutes. 5 minutes, 4 slots, no. 20 minutes at a stretch minimum in a day is what they are recommending. 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. I've put that in the last because if you're taking care of the other things, that will automatically happen. Your sleep issues will get sorted. This is what they're recommending. How much are we managing today? Anyone here who's managing at least this much or more? Hand went up first. 2, 3, okay. Many things to do. This is for the person who put up the hand first. Yeah, so the question is it necessary for everybody to sleep 7 to 8 hours? What happens is, this is a fantastic question. We've all been hearing 7 to 8 hours of sleep is mandatory. It is required for all people to function optimally, right? For optimal performance. If you have exerted yourself, your body needs that amount of recovery. But let us say you are involved in some kind of yogic practices, not something that Himalayan yogis do. Basic good yoga practices, meditation, pranayama, all of these. You will notice that in 6 hours, before your alarm rings, you are up. If you are able to do that, don't go by what ICMR says. ICMR is not keeping yogis in mind. ICMR is keeping just the average human being in mind. If your body automatically is waking up, absolutely no worries. You have already fixed a lot of your health issues there. So that's perfectly fine. Forcing yourself to get up in 4 hours to study or go to work with an alarm, putting water on your face, that is what they are against. We have seen top company CEOs who have had health issues because they forcibly cut sleep. There's a difference between forcibly cutting sleep and your body naturally getting itself energized and taking you through the day. So that is did I answer your question? And again, coming back to what Swami did for us, he never shied away from any sort of providing any sort of amazing avenues for health and fitness for all students, right? The facilities that we have, the Hillview Stadium, the indoor stadium, these are state of the art. Between 2009 and 11 when I was there, I was so thoroughly enjoying all this. When I came back, I realized it's so expensive to get these facilities outside at that level of quality. He ingrained this in everyone's lifestyle when we were students, right? And that is not by chance. Swami deliberately said, when I was studying, in a week, 2 days evening darshan, boys don't come, they will go to one of these exercise places and do something physically active. Each class would go on one of the days so that people would take turns, and 2 days in a week at least people would do this. This was only in the evenings. In the mornings, it was compulsory for somebody to involve themselves either in yoga, or a gym or some sort of physical activity that people would, like a PT drill or something, but something was absolutely mandatory. Swami had ingrained this into the lifestyles of students. So if you see some of the students playing there and participating in sports meet, you will see that if they've come out and it's been 10 years since they've come out of Swami's college, they would have been their fittest best when they were Swami students, because he ensured that the lifestyle was like that. After that, the graph mostly is downhill, but those who really adhere to Swami's teachings and what he said would have somehow maintained their health and fitness levels. His back to remind our back. Okay, so now moving on to understanding muscles and activity. Okay, we all have studied all of this in schools and colleges, right? Muscles are important. If I'm moving my hand, it's because of muscles. It's not that it's important for bodybuilders when they go on stage and show. That is another dimension to human existence. But for your basic movement, if you are sitting and you're not collapsing, there are so many muscles ensuring that you're sitting straight, comfortably. Your neck is straight and it's not falling. There are again so many muscles ensuring that your neck is functioning the way it should. Now, there are 600 plus muscles that keep you the way you are, right? Unconsciously, they are all working. You stand up now, you take it for granted. But do you know how many muscles are getting recruited when you just get up from the floor? They are all working all the time. And in return, they ask for something. What is it that they are asking for? Good food, proteins. Swami has spoken at length about proteins. Swami says, that which protects is called protein. No way you're going to forget this definition if you remember this. What protects is protein, right? So it's asking something in return. Good food, good lifestyle habits, and some movement. Now what happens if you don't do movement? You see two pictures here. The left side shows the internal muscle structure of a human being who has been fairly active. The right side shows similar external structure, but internally the muscle has shrunk. It's called atrophy, muscle atrophy. What has happened? The body is very smart. All the sessions we have been hearing, right? Body is super smart. If you don't use your muscle, it thinks, I'm not using it. What do I do with it? You throw things from home that you're not using. It's 6 months, 1 year it's been laying around here. I don't want to use it. It's junk. Let me throw it. Same with your body. He's using it for minimal purposes, just to lift his hand, sit down, get up, move. So let's keep the muscle minimum as possible. What is wrong with minimum muscle? Nothing is wrong. But in the chance when you are tripping, when you are to hold yourself when you are falling down, when something has come at you and you are trying to stop it, those chance events which don't give you a prior invitation or notice when they come, that is where having the left side structure will help. Again, this is not a bodybuilder that I am talking about, just muscles that have developed with good strength. Are you okay to do some basic movements? I know you all had lunch, but it's not too intense. Just some basic movements. If you can, those of you who can stand up at your own places, maintain like a one-arm distance. And those of you who need to sit on the chair, that's fine as well. But those of you who can move, I would request you to just stand up in your own places. I will show you some basic movements you can do along with me. We will start from the head. So with feet at comfortable distance apart, move as I am moving, but move with awareness. Don't move with lack of energy. Move your head from top to bottom to get the maximum stretch possible. Take it easy, then move from left to right. Feel the stretch, don't do it without awareness, feel the stretch. Move it side to side. Take it easy, come to the middle position. Now, assuming that your head is placed on a curved support, rotate your head in clockwise direction 3 times. I will show you how it is done. Let it rest on your collarbones all the time and your backbones. Come to the center position. Do the anti-clockwise movement as well, 3 times. Okay, come to the neutral position. Now what you have all done is taken care of the basic muscles that take care of your neck position next. I won't say strength, but flexibility. You get up in the morning and you feel something has happened. Doing this on a daily basis will ensure that that does not happen, right? Let's move slightly lower. We have these muscles here that support our neck on our shoulders. So do a reverse rotation for 3 times once. I will show you once and then you can do it. 3 in the back, 3 in the front. Yes. As you do all of these, please make sure that you feel the movements and don't do it like this. Okay. Next, what we do is we move slightly lower. If possible, if your clothing allows you can do this. Clasp your hands. Go to the back. Slowly start stretching. As much as you can. Do not bend. If you bend, you can feel all over the top. Stand straight. As much as you can. Slowly come back to a neutral position. Right? Now take your right hand, cradle it into your left. Slowly start squeezing your left hand in so that you feel that your shoulders on the back side and your internal shoulder muscles are getting stretched. Are you feeling it? Keep your hands straight. That will help better. Same thing on the other side. Neutral position. Yeah. You have finished all of these and you've slowly moved to your arms. Next, simplest one. Keep your hands straight. Pull your palms up, single palm. Take your left palm, clasp your right fingers with it. Slowly pull it back. Again, all within reasonable limits. You don't have to break a world record today. Simple stuff. You have to feel the stretch in your forearm. Done. Reverse. Don't do this as if you're petting your hand. Pull. Nothing's going to happen. Same thing on your other hand. Pull back. Slowly pull front. Great. So with these exercises, what it took us about 3 minutes mostly. With these exercises, you have taken care of most of your upper body muscles that you will use on a daily basis. Now let's say what you have done now, if you keep doing this and strengthen the muscles in your wrist, in an unfortunate instant when you have to trip or fall, when your hand comes down, now that is the difference between having a small sprain versus, oops, I saved myself, I'm fine. So these are some of the activities that will help you stay strong and fit. Next we move to the sides, right? Back to center. When you do this, you have to feel these things getting stretched. I am doing this without anything happening to me. All I am doing is wasting time. So you have to make sure that you are pulling so that you are feeling the stretch. You have covered your muscles that are on the side of your abdomen. Now hip rotation is something that most of you would have done as kids. The moment you start this, you start laughing, but it's absolutely important because it's in the center of your body and it supports the rest of your upper body and connects the lower body to the upper body. It's super important to keep your hips flexible. What you need to do is rotate it clockwise and anti-clockwise this way. Did that feel good? Okay, I mean you're forced to say yes, you can't say no, I didn't feel good, but trust me, your body will be feeling good. Now you have come till your hip. Now what is left? Your lower body, which is your legs and all the way till your feet. Let's go one by one. This might be a little difficult. If you need support, you can just watch me and do it later. But if you think you can try to follow this. This took care of your quadriceps. These are your massive thigh muscles that keep working throughout the day when you sit, when you stand, when you walk, when you run. Now we will go to the muscles that are just behind them, called the hamstrings. What do we do for that? Simple one. Behind your knee is where you have to feel stretch. If you are feeling a pain or stretch anywhere else, that means you are doing it wrong. Only behind your knees and up your leg muscles is where you should feel the stretch. Come back to the neutral position. It doesn't matter who is reaching what position, you have to just keep reaching better compared to your yesterday's position, right? So now your hamstrings are taken care of. Next, you move on to your ankles. To you, not as if you're disconnected from your ankle and it's doing its own thing, just some up and down. No, it should be rotating and it should be telling you I'm working, right? Because this is the difference between having a sprain and saying, oh, that was crazy, but I'm fine. Okay, now your ankles are done. Now we move to the calves. Your calves are below your hamstring and above your ankles. So what you can do for this is a simple stretch that will stand on your toes, come back slowly. Stand on your toes, come back slowly. If this is very easy, you can use it. You can do this using one leg. If this is very easy to do, try doing it with one leg, both sides. If that's difficult, you will progress to it eventually. Your calves are taken care of, your ankles are taken care of. Let's go to your toes now. Very important that you help your body know that you have to do all of this. Thank you so much. Please sit down. So that muscle doesn't move that much. So if there is a pain or something there, that's because it's got pressed or something. There is very little you can do to move. Your ankle is where the majority of the movement happens. So if you take care of that, all of the others might be solved as well. Does it feel good? Do you feel like your body is at least 5% more flexible than what it was before you started? Little bit? Okay. So, lubrication is what we just did. All your joints, muscles, they're all lubricated. That's all it's asking. Give it good food, some movement. Now you'll say, is this enough? Like, can I just keep doing this 5 minutes and I'm that 80-year-old thing? Will I be that if I just keep doing this? No. This is just the start. Before you do any other exercise, if you do this, it's going to be beneficial because it's going to ensure that you are not going to be injured. So Google has a lot of exercises. You can just put it and say free body exercises, cardio exercises, strength training exercises. It's going to list everything. These are just screenshots. All these are just going to make your job easier. 20 minutes a day is all you need. Now you will say, oh, Ratnakar brother asked for 20 minutes. Prem brother asked for 20 minutes. You are asking for 20 minutes. How much 20 minutes can I keep giving? We will answer that question in the last, but keep my 20 minutes in your mind for now. Okay? So you can choose what you want to do, but make sure that you do something so that your body is active on a daily basis and you don't get bored. You have variety as well. Now quickly I will go on to show how do you know that you are fit or not. So some of the tests that you can do is body composition. Some of you might measure weight and you might feel, oh, I'm in the right weight, my BMI is good. All of that is good, but a better indication is body composition. There are a lot of devices available today to check your body fat, but if you are a part of a gym, they have these things that give you a measurement. Anything less than 20 is fantastic for men, anything under 25 is great for women. What you should do if you are not in that range, you should eat well and move right. Okay. Resting heart rate. Now, before I come to this, what is the thing that we have studied in school, 5th, 6th, 7th standard? What is the correct range of the human heart rate according to our science textbooks? 70 to 75, right? What is the maximum that your heart rate can be? I am unable to hear. 100? 180 is also. What? Any other numbers? Maximum that a human heart can beat at? 150? 90? 200? Many right answers. But the maximum that a human heart can beat at is, at theoretical limit, is 220. Nobody's heart beats at 220 no matter what level of exertion you are doing. It depends on your age, gender, and kind of lifestyle that you are having. But for a rough calculation, if you want to find out what your maximum heart rate is potentially, it is 220 minus your age. If you do that, whatever number comes, that is very likely your maximum heart rate. Why do I need to know my maximum heart rate? Because that is the potential that you are not hitting. That much your heart can do, but I am happy with 70, 62, which my science textbook said in 5th standard. And my heart is also aram, I am also aram. Or like just the muscles that you work now, if your heart also works hard, it's going to stay healthy. So that is the potential. Now what happens when you go push your heart rate to the limit is that you will also become good when your body is resting. So your resting heart rate will keep going lower and lower. When you are sitting, if your heart rate is 60 and somebody else is at 80, the person with 60 is obviously doing better, right? His heart is doing that much more with that little effort. Lung capacity, breath hold test. Okay, so you can just hold your breath. For others, if there are Veda chanters here, anyone wants to take the mic and chant Namaste Astu Bhagan Vishweshwaraya from Namakam? Somebody pass on the mic, please. Yeah. You can take a deep breath if you want. No rushing, comfortably.
Namaste Astu Bhagavan Vishweshwaraya Mahadevaya Trayambakaya Tripurantakaya Trikagnikalaya Kalagnirudraya Neelakanthaya Mrityunjayaya Sarveshwaraya Sadashivaya Sriman Mahadevaya Namaha.
Chanting was perfect, so he gets a treat. Did you get one already? So did anyone count how many times he took a breath in? 2, 3. I thought it was 3, but some people said 2, 3. Yeah. Is there anyone who thinks they can chant this without taking a breath? You want to try? Vishwas? You can take a deep breath and start. You can chant slightly faster than the speed that our brother chanted.
Namaste Astu Bhagavan Vishweshwaraya Mahadevaya Trimbakaya Tripurantakaya Trikagnikalaya Kalagnirudraya Neelakanthaya Mrityunjayaya Sarveshwaraya Sadashivaya Sriman Mahadevaya Namaha.
2. I think there were 2 this time. He gets a treat.
Namaste Astu Bhagavan Vishweshwaraya Mahadevaya Trimbakaya Tripurantakaya Trikagnikalaya Kalagnirudraya Neelakanthaya Mrityunjayaya Sarveshwaraya Sadashivaya Sriman Mahadevaya Namaha.
1. Okay, so this is great, right? Why I did this was so that you can chant, all of you can chant this, chant at home, see how many times you're taking your breath, do some basic pranayama and breathing exercises and see if it improves. The goal is to improve. I'm not saying you should do it without taking a breath, but you will reach a stage where you can chant it comfortably without taking a breath if you practice your breathing exercises. Next, full squat or wall squat. I'll just show what I mean when I say this. Our ancestors have been doing this, now we have slowly moved away from it, but please know that this is a very primal movement. Human beings always sat in this position, and the closer you bring your feet, the harder it gets. Start from wide, come close, try to keep increasing the time. Toe touch, we already tried to do that for the hamstring stretch. If you are able to touch your toe, then you're doing good. If you're unable to do it, you have to do a lot of hamstring stretches and exercises. Only then you will be able to do. Don't keep forcing yourself to do this. Do take care of the muscles from the other side and this exercise becomes easy. Dead hang. If any of you have access to a pull-up bar or anything that is rigid on top which you can hold on to, you have to just hang there for at least 50 seconds. Anything greater than 50 seconds for men is fantastic. Anything greater than 40 seconds for women is also great. Now why? What is hanging got to do with my health? So it just doesn't say how long you can hang and show off your monkey skills, right? It shows grip strength. Grip strength is absolutely essential as you keep aging because it's going to keep reducing. If your grip strength is high, you will be able to do this well. Plank, I'm sure most of you are aware of what a plank is. 60 seconds if you can do a plank exercise, that means your core, your chest, your back, quite a few muscles in your legs, all of them are doing well. The last one is broad jump. So this is a little difficult. When I say difficult, it just means standing with feet together in one place and jumping with both feet. It's taking a leap ahead. Now all these are research based numbers that they have put here. If you can jump your body height, I mean not tall, but if you sleep and if you are, let's say, 5.5 feet, if you can jump a distance of 5.5 feet, that means you are at a reasonable good level of fitness, and maintaining this level of fitness is going to keep you good when you are 80. So what do I need to keep doing? Can I keep jumping every day? No, there are exercises that you need to do to make sure that this somehow happens. So I have put a list of things that you can do in your daily life to prevent a sedentary life and things that tighten your muscles. Alternate sitting and standing when you work as much as possible. If you have to take calls, get up from your desk. If it's on phone, it's easier. I usually carry my laptop and take calls, so that's possible too. If you're carrying groceries, carry them up and down stairs. If the bags are not heavy, don't take the lift, carry them. Play with children. Don't go to the park and sit and ask them to play and you meet them after they are done. Play along with them when you have a chance. That's a great way to put some activity in your life. Household chores, most of us do. When you do them, do it right. Whenever you're bending, make sure that you bend from the back and not, you bend from your hip and not from the back. Don't arch your back, always bend from the hip. Do household chores as and when you can. If all of this is too difficult, set reminders on your phone to just remind you to move. Do anything, but make sure you keep moving throughout the day. Okay, now we go on to the bigger chunk of the discussion, which is nutrition.
Today, we find so many heart diseases in this world. The main cause happens to be the meat eating and alcohol.
Vegetarian food తినేటువంటి వారికి హార్ట్ జబ్బులు అన్నింత గొప్పగా అధికంగా కనిపించటం లేదు.
Among vegetarians, you don't find heart diseases in that proportion.
ఈ వెజిటేరియన్ లోపల కూడా ఇందులో కూడా మితం ఉంటుందా?
There should be limit even consuming vegetarian diet.
విటమిన్ సి, విటమిన్ ఇ, ఆకు కూరలు ఇట్లాంటివి కొన్ని క్యారెట్ ఇలాంటివి తిన్నటువంటి వారికి హార్ట్ జబ్బులు అధికంగా రావడం లేదు.
Those that take vitamin C, eat vegetables such as carrot, will not suffer from heart disease.
సాధ్యమైనంత వరకు మానవు విటమిన్ సి, విటమిన్ ఇ మన దేహంలో కొంతవరకు ఉండేట్టుగా మనము చూసుకోవాలి.
To the extent possible, we should take care that we have vitamin C and E.
సకాలంలో
This is a very long discourse, by the way. Swami has spoken at length about how we should eat, what to eat, when to eat, so that you prevent cardiac disease. It was a symposium where all leading cardiologists from the country were there. Very good talk. You can listen to it, or listen to the full thing on YouTube. So if we go to the basics of food, right? Why do we eat? Anyone quickly? Why do we eat? Energy to do work. Nourishment. One answer. To fill our stomach. Right. We need energy to function and survive. So energy to do work. We can't make our own energy like plants. We may cook in the kitchen, but plants can do it without depending on anybody else. We depend on plants. We feel hungry, right? If we don't eat, we feel hungry. For that, we have to eat. That is why human beings started eating. But why do we eat today? I mean, this is a photo, right? Like from caveman time, man has been hunting something or the other. He has been eating. So today, why do we eat? We are stressed at work. So just have a snack. Let's meet at lunch. Can we meet for dinner? We eat. Now this is a big thing, right? One person goes, eats a vada, and he says, this vada breaks down in your mouth so beautifully that the crunch makes you feel a sense of ecstasy. And then you feel, oh, I have to have this vada in that place. I mean, it's vada. Everywhere is the same vada. He has to get his views. He's going to talk like that, right? This is another problem. And advertising is all in our faces, right? It is difficult. It's difficult not only for certain people, but it's difficult for everyone to come out of the power that marketing of these brands. Back. Have you seen how Swami always ate food? Anyone had a chance to interact with people who were serving Swami, or had the great opportunity to see how Swami ate? There used to be a lot of cups and plates and all that, but I have never seen Swami's plate being full. If you see the photo on the right, very minimal. Carbs, almost zero. There's a lot of fiber, vegetables. Quantity has always been like this. I've had this wonderful chance once to witness Swami eating at the Super Speciality Hospital, because they had called him for inaugurating something, I guess. Such minimal food quantity, and he always did that. And he has provided clear guidelines as well. Eat in moderation. In the next few slides, I'll be talking about a lot of things, but this, if you want to forget everything and take in the only one thing from this session, this is one of them. Eat in moderation. Be as light when you get up as you were when you went to eat. It might be easy for a few of us, maybe very difficult for some of us, but Swami has said it's supremely important for all of us, right? Avoid food that is very spicy, hot, cold, salty, anything in excess. Even in the flavor wise, you have to avoid it. Spicy and hot, I've bolded hot. Hot is the temperature and hot is the heat that comes from chili. Spice is the spice that you add with all your condiments and all your spices, right? It doesn't make the food hot, all that flavor. That also has to be in moderation. Same thing with cold, salty as well. Avoid 5 white poisons. Who can talk about the 5 white poisons? Just list the 5 white poisons. Salt, sugar, rice, maida, dairy products or milk. So Swami has said milk in moderation. He has not said don't have milk, milk in moderation. Swami has also said move about and fill the day with activity so that food is digested well. Now, so brothers have spoken in the morning. I'll quickly show you what the 3 qualities of food are. Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic. We've all seen this. I'm not going to go into too much detail. What I want to bring your attention to here is, if you Google it, you will get a list of foods that fall under these 3 buckets. I'm just bringing this to your attention. You cannot say no to any of this and say, I'm going to eat only Sattvic from today. Difficult, because we are living in a society. We have other things to take care of, social pressures, all of that. So we eat everything. Let's do it again in moderation. But let us ensure one thing. There are foods that are not in the Sattvic bucket that you consume on a daily basis. That is because you're addicted. You want to have it once in a while, that's still okay. Can you make sure that you can reduce some of the quantity of these things and slowly move away from that bucket? That should be your end goal. Okay, Nutrition 101. So what a calorie is, all of you know what calories are. ICMR has recommended 2000 to 2600 calories per day for a male and 1600 to 2100 for a female. The upper limit is for extremely active people, Think of a farmer. If you are not farming, you don't have the right to consume that much calories. Quickly, one vegetarian slice pizza medium, how many calories? Can't hear. 3, 5. Okay. About 300, right? And no, I don't eat all this Western food. I eat only banana leaf meal, which is very healthy, our own traditional thing. True, yes. But if you eat all the sweets and ask them to serve it twice, it's difficult to guess this because the food items differ. It's about 1,000 calories. That 2,000 something is including your breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, all of that put together. And in one meal, if you're getting 1,000, good luck with managing your other meals. Different food types, right? If you have to move to different food types, there are basically these 4 that I have divided into. Protein I have highlighted because Swami has spoken about it. It's the most important thing and the least amount of intake that all of us Indians, especially South Indians or vegetarians, get. So what happens to the food we eat? There is a slide that will quickly show you this. I will go on to that. Whenever you eat, there is a glucose spike. I will also explain what happens there. And there is Mr. Insulin. It's the villain in the room. We'll talk about him. It's the elephant in the room. Okay. Then there is frequency. 4, 3, intermittent fasting, OMAD. OMAD is 1 meal a day. So people eat 4 times a day. Some eat 3, some eat twice, intermittent fasting. Then some eat once a day. What is the best thing? Nothing is best. Figure out what works best for you. Follow it consistently. That is the best. This I put because I wanted to draw relevance to parlance to your Ekadashi, right? So Ekadashi was something that our culture already had. One, they might say go closer to God and all that, but most important thing is you fast so that you cleanse out your system. On that day, you give your system a chance to clean itself out. That is the reason why you had Ekadashi. But this beautiful photo is that of an Upvas thali, which has more food than your regular thali. So very simple way to understand is when you eat food, it gets converted to glucose. Most of it, let's assume we eat rice, chapati, dal, all these are carbohydrates which get converted to glucose. Your insulin is released from your pancreas, you know that. The bottom brown thing is the cell. So that insulin has to go and unlock the cell, only then the glucose will go and get absorbed into the cell. That is when energy comes out, that is when you can sit, stand, do whatever you want. Now what happens when you eat a lot of sugary food? Too much insulin will go, too much unlocking will happen, a lot of glucose will go and sit. Now insulin is the elephant in the room because you think insulin will just regulate sugar and it will go back. It's not that simple. He's got a lot more ego than this. So he will come there, he will go talk to the liver, he will go talk to the kidneys, he will go talk to the cardiac system, everywhere. As much as insulin you have in your blood unnecessarily, that much damage it will cause to your all parts of the body. So when we think of eating and how insulin responds, this is what nature has given us, right? Lovely. We've cut it, so we've got some processing. Not bad, okay. Then we make juice out of it, we remove all the fiber. Then there's milkshake. It's the least apple out of all the apple preparations. Everything is apple, no, by the way. But it's the least apple out of all these apple preparations, but nothing beats this. Apple is killed here, apple cake. Now am I saying don't ever eat apple cake? No. Swami is told moderation, please always keep that in mind. Be conscious of what you are eating. Don't say I had apple today because you had apple cake. It's not. Okay, whole food versus processed food. Very important, quickly. Most of you know this. Any grain that you eat, your rice, your wheat, your millets, anything that you take has 3 main components: barn, endosperm and germ. So what happens when you refine and process food? When you take wheat and you make atta out of it, you remove the barn and the germ, which is the most important and nutritious thing, and you are left with the center part, which is the endosperm, which you see is starchy carbohydrate with some proteins and vitamins, no fiber, no essential nutrients. That is what they serve to you. Now this is a photo of whole wheat untouched for a few weeks. This is what happens. The germs come and infect it. The germs know what to eat, but we don't know what to eat. The germs, like the one that still has the barn and the germ intact, the human beings want the maida that will stay longer in the shelf. We don't care about the nutrition. Don't think that the germ is eating it, so it's the insect is eating it, so it's unhealthy. It knows what to eat. We don't. Now quickly, our favorite biscuit. Most of us, we like this, right? We don't. If there are people who don't like this biscuit, I am with you. Thank you. But if for those of you who like this biscuit, cashew biscuit, right? So just so that you know, quickly, it's got 4.5% cashew. Basically, if you take 2 biscuits which are 10 grams, you will be getting 1 gram cashew. They call it cashew biscuit. Okay. Then you say, no, brother, I don't eat all this. I eat whole wheat Mari only. Okay. First ingredient in the whole wheat biscuit is maida, which is 50%. Okay. Then comes sugar, then oil, and there is 17% of whole wheat also added to it. Correct? Then you say, no, brother, I don't eat all of this at all. Minimum thing that I eat is like just soup, It's got real vegetables. Nor says it's got real vegetables. What is the key ingredient of Nor soup? Refined wheat flour. First is refined wheat flour. They say vegetable soup. Vegetables are there, some 6%, 0.7%. It's there. They are not lying. It's there. But if that is what you are after, then don't eat this. And you will see a lot of numbers on food labels. Whenever you see numbers instead of food ingredients on food labels, stay away from it. Food ingredients you can understand. What are numbers? You can Google them, you will get them. But stay away from heavy usage of numbers. Now, what do we eat? Well, everything, if you keep talking like this, everything will go out of the list. My supermarket shopping basket will be empty. It's hard. It's not easy. I'm not saying don't eat. Be conscious. Whenever you look at an item, turn the face that is hidden away from you. Don't just look at what they say, real vegetables, real wheat. That should be the last thing you're seeing. Heard of this brand? I'm sure you have not, because I also heard of this yesterday. If you have heard of it, then you're already 3 steps closer to being healthy than you are. So if you see their ingredients, right, they don't have any nonsense there. They're just like talking about whole grain stuff, but you don't know how many years these brands will survive. They're trying to do the right stuff so they can get squashed. As long as they're there, you buy them, eat them, feel happy about it. You will also see INS 330 there. Just to be aware, INS 330 is just citric acid, which is perfectly okay. It's there in your regular occurring vegetables also. That's fine. So I'll talk about 2 enemies very quickly. Sugar is the number 1 enemy. Why is the photo of a person for sugar instead of sugar molecules and where it's going? So this guy was responsible to shift the blame from sugar to fat in 1950s, I guess, sometime. He did some research because the sugar conglomerate had reached out to him and made sure that they get a report that would divert people's attention from consuming fat, consuming sugar, to knowing that fat consumption is in fact a problem. Till then people were happily eating cheese, olive oils or ghee, all of that. Even today, that if there is a choice between table sugar and a spoon of ghee is far better than table sugar. All of his studies are slowly being debunked one by one. His name is Ansel Keys. You can Google if you are interested at a later point in time. This is enemy number 1. Enemy number 2 is not oils. Refined oil. Whatever oil you get, Sun, Saffola, Heart Health, Fortune, all of these oils. Heavy processing, heavy addition of chemical components to extract that much oil. Now you say, oil we have to eat daily. What do we eat? There are alternatives. If you want cold pressed oils, you have started getting a lot of all these. They don't apply as much heat, so they are far more nutrient dense, less harmful as compared to some of these. So the enemy 2 is not oils, but it's the refined oil. Now, when the food that you eat or prepare contains enemy 1 plus enemy 2 plus other processed food, what happens? You get wow taste. People are all over it all the time because it's got all the nonsense that keeps it longer on the shelf and gives you taste. And we get addicted. You know what Swami has said? Guess who didn't eat like that? Swami. For 54 years, he said his weight has pretty much remained normal. Like 180 is definitely not referring to kilos, it's pounds. But even if there was fluctuation, we have seen Swami's childhood photos and the photos till 2011. At no point in time was he even slightly overweight. He's maintained his weight that perfectly. We all have a responsibility to do that in our own lives as well. Quickly, in summary, how to understand foods. First is the minimally processed or unprocessed food. That's your top of your line is the vegetables and fruits, all of that. Then you have group 2 processed ingredients, which is oil and all that. You can still eat it, but know where they are in the spectrum. 3 is processed food, bread. Even if you make bread at home, it is still processed, but that's okay. Unprocessed are the killer group that you see in the last, which you should avoid at all costs. You see chocolates there, and I've been distributing chocolates, but if those of you who have got it, if you look at it, though it's processed, it's nothing like the chocolates that you have seen in the past. Their ingredients are there up. They don't hide anything in the back. It's clean food. So that is the reason I have given it. Now quickly to understand why do brands exist, then they are not here to make you healthy. Let's get that straight. Oh, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Do they care? It's not actually, but do they care? They don't care. They want to sell one more meal for you at breakfast. They want to sell more. Obviously they want to sell more because they want to make money, and selling more is the way to make money. So they will cut costs of production. These 3 things they will do. To cut costs of production, the brand will keep thinking again and again and again to add worse ingredients and deviate away from the natural state that the food existed. In fact, if you know Nestle is a category leader, and if Nestle is not a category leader in any particular food product, they will come out of that category. So they want to be in the leadership position, not to give you KitKat. Okay, KitKat is a byproduct of what their whole business is. So quickly, what metrics you can check? I give you a list of metrics for your physical strength checking and all. When you're eating well, what are the metrics that you can check? You can get a full body blood work done at a good lab once in a year, once in 6 months. That will help you know whether you're on track, whether you're eating right, whether your vitamins are in place or not. There are some great apps these days where they upload your monthly results time over time. You can track progress. Body composition analysis, I spoke to you about this. If you're interested, you can get a DEXA scan done. This is the gold standard of understanding what your body is internally made of, how much fat, how much muscle, what your bone density is. All of this is available. Blood glucose levels. These are my own glucose readings from a CGM that I used to use, continuous glucose monitor. So it will tell you how your body reacts to specific foods that you eat. I eat this, the right side one is what I had eaten in the morning, and the right side spike on the right graph is what I had eaten in the night. Same food will create different spikes if you eat them in the right order. If you don't eat sugary stuff starting, but you eat some kosambi and all which they were serving on our bale ele, right? Those foods will create a barrier to prevent sugar spiking. So that is one thing. Monitor your sleep and pill intake. One best way to check is, one quick question I have. How many of you have not taken a pill in the last 12 months? Okay, I have to change the 24 months. 5 years and above, there is still 1%. Okay. So that's a very good metric to check how healthy you are, right? With good lifestyle, you will also reduce your dependency on pills. Yeah, big round of applause to madam. Back straight. Last slide, myth busting, very quickly. A strong body has to look strong.
I'm sorry, mister.
He is saying that there is air inside your weights, it's not real. He says it's like plastic, right? Okay, I'll move on quickly. He is not a cleaner, he is a power lifter. What I want you to see is that, especially for the women folk here, if I have to be strong, I have to look, absolutely not. You can look exactly like the way you're looking now, but your internal muscles will be such high quality that, I mean, you can't lift that much, but we can do much better than what we are doing today. Women shouldn't weight train. I think most of us here already know this. I'm not going to spend much time here. You definitely have to, as much as men have to, all of us have to weight train. Healthy snacks is the way to go. Yeah, not bad, but please read the labels before you buy. I will do cardio, like endless hours of running, and I will get fit. No, you have to always combine cardio with some yoga, pilates, gym, strength training, something along with cardio to stay fit. My sugar will go low and I will faint if I fast. Is my energy level high now? Is it good? My energy level, is it good? Do you think I will be able to sustain this energy level for another 1 hour? So then sugar level will not go low if you fast. I was fasting since morning, I am doing fine. So will you. Try it out once. If you have not tried, you will definitely do fine. Now I will quickly say, yeah, if I eat something unhealthy, I will work it off. You can't, but be conscious when you eat it so that you can compensate your subsequent meals. Working out 1 hour a day takes care of 23 hours of bad lifestyle sitting in front of the system. No, it won't. Keep moving periodically. Ensure that your body keeps moving. It likes moving. You like sitting. Do what it likes, not what you like. I try to eat well, but end up eating bad because friends come and ask me to go to restaurants. Go to restaurants. I'm not saying don't. Choose what you eat there. Learn to say no. If your friends are forcing you at a time when you don't want to eat, you can manage this part as well. How to get started? Start small. What we did today was a very small exercise. Start small. If you're interested, we can talk again, we can learn more, we can do a lot of other stuff. What type of eating, fasting works for you? You have to figure that out on your own. Not one way works best for all. Figure that out on your own. Be disciplined but be flexible. If you don't want to receive juice from somebody who's offering you a sugary drink, say no, not a problem. 5 times he'll feel, why is this guy acting like a weirdo? 6th time he'll know that you are what you are. He will respect you. Read labels whenever you buy packaged food. If there is the second most important thing that you take away from the session, please read labels when you buy packaged foods. Always move for some time after a meal. Whenever you have a meal, for the next 10 minutes, basic activity like walking, no need to strain yourself, that will help you. Compete only with yourself. Don't go by social media influencers videos of doing handstands and try some nonsense and then go out of action for 3 months. Please do not do that. If you are able to do something today, can you be 10% better? Tomorrow is all you have to do. Track yourself. Most of you have smartwatches, some of you can get one, and this is going to be a real useful thing in helping you track your progress. What do I prioritize? This, I touched upon this. This is an investment for the future. Everybody is saying 20 minutes, 20 minutes. So if you today think that your body is not giving you your support, then you have to prioritize health. People say Swami will take care. Of course Swami will take care. That's why you're sitting here. If Swami wouldn't have taken care, you would probably be in a not so happy place today. Swami has taken care. But you can't say Swami will take care and you won't drop your studies or not go to office, right? That somehow you want to take care a little bit yourself. But exercise and all Swami will take care. I will just sit and do my dhyana or Veda or whatever. Won't work that way. Swami has built hospitals, he has built gyms in the university. So all of that he has done to help you know what you need to do to take care of yourself so that he can take care of you when you really need the help. It's a journey, you will enjoy it if you continuously do it. If you stop it, you will not be as happy. Identify your strengths and weaknesses, work on what works. If you are very good in meditation, continue to do it, add the physical part to it. If you are very good in exercises, keep that going and add the meditation component to it. You have to find your strengths and priorities. This probably is my last slide, and I've been talking about longevity and Swami has also said that. If you have any doubts with regards to anything that I have spoken today or want to reach out to me for anything else, to clarify anything or get some of those tables, please feel free to reach out to me. I've put my email ID there. I hope this session was useful and you're able to take away at least 2 or 3 things after today to become a better, fitter, healthier version of yourself. Jai Saram. Thank you.
Thank you, brother, for that wonderful speech that helps us understand what health is and how to lead a healthy lifestyle with beautiful examples. I request Nikhil brother to present a token of love to Sudeep brother.